Hello, and welcome back to another exciting episode of Video Ditch. As always, it's me, Sam, joined by Nick. And it's February now.
A lot has happened.
Yes, how time flies.
People thought 2023 was going to be the greatest year in gaming, and now I'm literally drowning in games. I don't have a spare moment to play anything, and it's killing me.
He's not wrong, you know?
Yeah.
Last week we had We had Tekken 8 and Like a
2.
Dragon Infinite Wealth, Eunice 2, and then tomorrow, day of recording is the 1st of February, but tomorrow, what is it? Persona 3?
Oh, Reloaded? Who gives a fuck?
Coming out. You don't like Persona?
I love Persona 3. I don't care about the remake.
You don't care about the remake? Why?
Not at all. Well, I've already finished it. I've already seen how much they've changed it with Dancing All Night, how that's apparently canon to the series, is that the way that they save the protagonist, for those who haven't played Persona 3, I guess, scrub forward 30 seconds.
Yeah, spoilers.
Yeah, they moonwalk next to his corpse, and he rises from the dead like Jesus Christ.
Wow, he's no longer crucified or whatever.
Yeah, he's just like alive. He's just back. He's like, hey, I'm back.
Hey, I'm back. Oh, that's shocking. I thought you'd be more excited about it.
No, not really. I'll play it at some point if I get bored, I guess. But I'm not really. I wasn't like holding my breath for it. I don't really think it needed to be made. I think it would have made a lot more sense to remake Persona 1 because it's a pretty like substance-less game. It's pretty boring story and gameplay wise. So they could have done literally anything with it, made it a fully fleshed out, interesting title. But gotta focus on the interesting one. Gotta focus on the one where kids point guns at their heads to summon Satan. That's what got at the appeal in the first place.
They wanted to just they needed another primary color.
They had it. It was the first one.
Going off of red.
I mean, technically Persona 2 is red, but wwhatever. Who cares?
That's the farthest I've gone back.
2?
Of Persona 2, yeah.
Don't go any further. Don't bother. Yeah. No need to play if...
Yeah. I liked some of those ideas, like spreading rumors.
Yeah, I wish they kept up with it. 2 was a very interesting game. Both of them were.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You could even be a homosexual if you so chose.
Wow. They never brought that back.
Yes, in the one where you could be a homosexual and fight Hitler that did not get released initially.
Yes.
To the PSP remake. But anyways.
Infamous, yes. Yes, we're back. Here to talk about games, as always. And really, it being February, I thought we'd just, round up some headlines from the end of last month. Or through last month.
Yeah. Nice month. Pink month. Full of love. Yeah. We got some tough love for games. Tough love for the gaming developers.
Truly. Last week, I believe. Or no, is it coming out this week? Suicide Squad.
It's already out?
Justice League. I think it's just coming out.
Who cares?
This is how prepared we are.
I would say it's... Well, I mean, really, who cares? Honestly, who gives a shit about Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League? Has there been a single piece of promotional material that's made you say, wow, looks great, can't wait to play it? Has there been anything about it? The look, the gameplay, the battle pass, the always online, anything about that say, this appeals to me, I would much rather play Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League over Like a Dragon 8 or Tekken 8.
Thank God. I've not reached that level of brain rot.
Exactly.
My love for open worlds and superheroes is not strong enough to make me be like, well, maybe. No.
Yeah. Maybe I could just go back to Superman 64. Same amount of joy.
Yeah, it's a crazy game. Suicide Squad. For following, the unsuccessful model that the Avengers game had. But, it's slightly different, but it's basically the same.
Yeah. The idea was what? Square Enix fucked it up, so let's see if Rocksteady can do a good job, and they didn't? Or...
They didn't.
No one cares. Yeah. I understand it's also in the Arkham universe, which people are pissed off about. Apparently this is the climax of the Arkham series, is Batman getting blasted in the skull unceremoniously while, R.I.P. Kevin Conroy's on the bottom of the screen.
Yeah. Rest in peace, Kevin.
Very respectful.
Yeah. It's insane.
I don't care that much. I have seen people threatening the lives of all Rocksteady employees. I have seen people saying, "This is what happens when you back the blue. Batman gets shot in the head and the villains win." It's like, calm down, okay? Calm down, Roman statue, profile picture.
Yes.
You'll be fine. You will be A-okay. You know what's crazy? Go to your local comic book store. He's right there. Batman's right there. He hasn't gone anywhere. Mm-hmm. He's died countless times before. He'll die again. And he'll keep coming back.
I'm glad you're saying the same things that I've seen, because just people so up in arms about
Psycho man children get over it. Get some real interest. Yeah. Do something of value. Maybe try reading manga. Maybe try watching anime. Do something that's, mature and for adults instead of sitting in your fucking diaper reading comics. What a loser.
Yeah, do something refined.
Yeah, check out Hajime no Ippo. Maybe then you'll have some class, some culture.
I mean, that was really what I wanted to. We haven't even really addressed. Well, I suppose we have.
It's kind of funny that scene alone is pretty much totally overshadowed all the hatred, all the vitriol people had for all the anti-consumer, anti-gaming mechanics. People just bought it anyways. But the one thing they couldn't abide was in a game called Kill the Justice League, you kill Batman.
Yeah, that's the crazy thing. If you're watching any media about it and you browse through the comments and just the amount of copium.
It's insane. Yeah, it's like if you went to your grandma's funeral and you saw the open casket and you were like, "Nana's dead!" Like, what do you expect?
Yeah. You know what you're signing up for. And I don't know. It's like, is it so unceremonious?
I don't care.
I don't think it
care.
is.
Killer Croc could have wiped his ass with Batman.
Yeah,
Harley Quinn,
it's fine.
Squished a whoopee cushion. Who cares?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it doesn't reflect poorly on Kevin Conroy.
It doesn't make Arkham City suddenly unplayable. It doesn't make Arkham Asylum a bad game retroactively.
Good.
Whatever.
Good. I'm glad we're on the...
Deus Ex did not suddenly become a 0 out of 10 game because Invisible War exists. It doesn't work that way.
Did you ever play Invisible War?
No, it looked pretty bad, so I didn't touch it. It was console, right? Console only?
It was a console. I think it had a PC port, but it was designed with console in mind. So
right. Like
the level design was smaller, and the UI.
Remember when the Wii came out and people were like, "This is going to make games worse for multi-platforms," and it did for lazy developers. They would just straight up make one game that ran okay on the Wii, and then it was just looking like shit, playing like shit on everything else. That's kind of how it was back then, I think.
Oh,
with Invisible War, yeah.
I see. Yeah, that was my first exposure to the series as a kid.
That is shocking that you played that and you were like, I want more of this.
I want more of this. Yeah, and then I saw Adam Jensen saying that he didn't ask for this. Blew my mind. Is
and you're like, are you crazy? You got robot arms.
Look how you're crushing that glass.
Yeah.
But speaking of Deus Ex, apparently news broke this week that a new Deus Ex game that was being worked on by Eidos Montreal for at least 2 years, was in pre-production, was canceled. It was just canceled by the Embracer Group, the higher up investors.
Right, Shinra, I like to call them.
Exactly. They decided to just cancel the development.
Is Eidos still owned by Square Enix, or did they lose that?
I think they are.
The whole
Square Enix Montreal. Yeah.
I feel like this is a direct consequence of the Square NFTs.
I think this is why. I think Embracer bought them from Square.
I think that also happened because of the NFTs.
Yeah. That sucks.
I don't know. I didn't play Mankind Revived or whatever.
Mankind Divided?
I don't know anyone who did, actually. I didn't even know it came out until 3 years after it came out. Apparently it's decent. Wouldn't know. Haven't played it.
It's decent. It's unfinished.
Yeah.
I think I've mentioned this before, but a quick description of it is like it has a very strong like opening and hub, but then it's like, oh god, this is like the whole game, and then by the time the plot gets rolling, it's like over, you know. And then Square Enix was like, let's do these like really shitty DLCs and some weird premium currency like raid mode you could do.
So like the opposite of the missing link.
Yeah, which is very, very unfortunate. It had a couple good story DLCs that had some satisfying payoffs. Like one of them, you got to relive a past operation of Adams, where you go into prison.
Oh, what, when he's human?
No, it's like pretty early on. It's yeah. It was good. Revisiting it is kind of hard, you know, after playing a game like Cyberpunk 2077.
I would imagine, yeah. It must feel very linear. You must feel very boxed in.
Yeah, exactly.
It's I imagine it's like a animal who's been raised in a cage its entire life. It's like, wow, the world is so vast. I've got four corners. I can run around here all day. They get let out for the first time. They're like, I'm not going back in that fucking cage.
I'm never going back.
I'm never going back in that disgusting hovel. I can't believe I thought that was good.
That is a very apt way of describing how it feels to replay that game. Because I remember trying to install it a few months ago. I played the opening mission for like 5 minutes. It's like, I'm done.
Yeah.
I won't be able to call a car. I won't be able to go anywhere in this game. You know, there's much more fleshed out worlds I could be exploring here.
Right,
but it is a shame. It is a shame that that Adam Jensen's story won't really have a satisfying conclusion.
I mean, neither do JC's.
I mean, you get to choose. I suppose he comes back in Invisible War.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Oh well, you know, you could help him out in that one when he's all Heliosed out.
No, I'm fine.
Just keep the first one, yeah. All right. Well, moving on from that, in classic video ditch fashion, we are going to be reviewing some of the showcases from big publishers. But frankly, we're going to be glossing over them, kind of rapid fire. Because, we had Xbox, we had Sony, and even our pals at the Horror Game Awards, it'll showcase in January.
It's true. It all happened. It was all real. The Horror Game Awards showcase, one game in particular really stood out to me, the Psychopomp. Very cool looking, disgusting, fleshy, metallic fused monsters with anime girl faces. It looks like it could be something really horrifying, and I feel like it's made by someone with similar interests to mine. Hopefully they don't turn out to be a horrible person now that I've said that. By similar interests, I mean they like horror and they like Japan.
Yeah, similar tastes and aesthetics.
Yes. Outside of that,
it does look cool.
Doesn't really matter to me, but it looks cool. I want to check that out.
Yeah.
Sony presentation. Who cares? Vomits, bile. I don't care. Silent Hill looks like I don't know, like an action game, I guess. I don't really understand what they're going for with Silent Hill 2 remake. Yeah. Silent Hill, the missing link, the secret chapter is Slender, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care about that either. I'd like to see Silent Hill F if that still exists. Maybe that could be good, but I have no faith in Silent Hill anything else.
Wow, your last hope.
I mean, they've pretty much totally just written off Ascension at this point, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's no
part
of the presentation where they were like, "Oh, don't forget,
we have the finale coming up." Yeah.
Ascension's final episode airs tomorrow. Make sure you vote with your silent coin.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they had more trailers for like Dragon's Dogma 2, but that's already like a guarantee for me.
Yeah,
and you.
There was a dragon who I don't think was the final boss. I was like, "Whoa, what the?
Whoa, hey! I mean,
he's not even talking."
there were plenty of dragons. Dragonlance.
Those are drakes, I believe.
Yeah.
Not quite the same.
There you go. Did you? I think we've covered this before as well. It's just been so long. But Death Stranding, you didn't play it, right?
I didn't.
You weren't,
I didn't.
Yeah.
Death Stranding 2
not
looks
interested, right?
better than 1, but I feel like if I don't play 1, 2 won't make sense. So I'll just wait for the new Metal Gear that he's making, I guess, and I'll play that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm reluctant to watch a lot of the footage, you know, 'cause I want to go in as ignorant as possible, you know.
Oh yeah, I'd say watching that trailer, I pretty much know everything that happened in the first game now.
Yeah, and I haven't finished the first game, which is crazy. And I do plan on doing it, but man, that game, I was thinking about it today hilariously. It was just so perfect for quarantine, you know? I don't think if it hadn't, I think that's why I can't get into it now. It's because I don't have the same amount of time.
Yes, to delve into the tedium.
Yeah, right. Where I don't have time for a second job.
Right. If you can either look like you can either play Parcel Delivery Simulator, or you could play Tekken 8.
Yeah.
So, choices.
Yeah. Well, what were your quarantine games? Did you have like any particular that
Me?
were like, yeah,
A
Just
blur, no recollection.
I feel you.
I would say if I wasn't gaming, I was drunk and blacked out.
Fuck.
I was alone, blacked out.
Jesus Christ.
So.
Well, anyway, PlayStation. Yeah, Ken Levine's making games again. He's got BioShock again.
Who cares?
This time
Once again,
Judas.
Judas. It's so crazy that he. Didn't
I
even
think
try.
it's a weird name.
I think it's a weird that it's just the same. Like all the character designs are just like BioShock Infinite again. It's like ooh splicers but different. It's like ooh look plasmid gun. Ooh remember BioShock? Remember I made that. Remember you all said I was a genius. You know the thing about geniuses, we all know this. The thing about geniuses, they like to make the same thing over and over and over. They like to take the thing that made people call them a genius and say, how about this again? Mm-hmm. How about I do it one more time?
One more time.
Four times, maybe.
Yeah. The Boy and the Heron.
I don't understand. I don't think I've seen anyone who's like, oh boy, new Ken Levine game, BioShock 4.
Kind of difficult to work with, but
I've heard that he destroyed an entire studio and got away with nary a slap on the wrist.
That sucks.
I heard that he basically gutted everything that BioShock Infinite was supposed to be multiple times for very banal, asinine reasons, and the final product was not that compelling. But that's all. That's all hearsay, I suppose.
Nothing but hearsay. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then did we cover Xbox finally?
Xbox Visions of Mana looked interesting.
I knew it. I knew that was going to be your pick. Yeah.
I didn't give a shit about it until I saw the dog thing that you ride on.
Mm-hmm.
I like him. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Xenoblade in a good way.
Yeah.
Maybe a little more sterile, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
I was never really a fan of the Mana games, anyways. I know they're like sort of like the Tales of series, like multiplayer action JRPGs.
Yeah.
I tried playing, what was the SNES one? Legend of Mana?
I think so.
Right?
And then Sword of Mana was on the Game Boy Advance. I like that.
I hated it. I hated the SNES one. I thought it was really boring, and the combat was not good. It took way too long to kill anything, and I didn't like it. Apparently Trials of Mana improves on everything in every way. Haven't played it. So, you know, that's good if it does that, I guess.
The Mana games have had their kind of 3D reboot resurgence in the last few years. So it's cool to see it kind of culminating in this.
A total remake.
Exciting for Xbox fans, I suppose. because it's the first time the franchise is on it. But yeah, I think the only other thing I wanted to cover really from the Xbox conference was the Indiana Jones game.
Oh, that's right.
Mostly because I'm really not excited about it.
It's the Wolfenstein developers.
Yeah, it's Machine Games,
which I've also never played.
So I played both of the Wolfenstein reboots, or I guess the reboot.
Oh, you played the old one?
The New Colossus.
Yeah.
Which one?
Like 2007, Return to Castle Wolfenstein.
Unlike the original Xbox era?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did play that one back in the day. That was very good. But I also, the new one with super fucking ripped BJ. They're good games. Good throwback to the ones of yore. No regenerating health. Challenging. They're challenging games.
A lot of gore.
Very gory. Yeah. Very satisfying though. And then it's all coupled with like this narrative that takes itself really seriously. And I don't know. It hits sometimes. BJ's like extremely like he's like really thoughtful, and like he's always like monologuing. His inner monologue's going.
Oh, he's not quipping.
He's not quipping. It's very, at least in the first one, he's always just like violence, Nazis, I hate them.
He's a real Brock Sampson.
Yeah. But very competently made. So I have faith in the developer. I just the reveal of it all was just so my least favorite thing about these sorts of this sort of stuff in the industry. Just Todd Howard yeah, I love Indiana Jones.
I know. It's just the fact that he's involved in it is not promising at all. I would say it's a big detriment to the game.
It's insane. And the subtitle, too. The Great Circle. And the Great Circle.
Yeah.
And then prefaced by, I had the perfect story for Indiana Jones. This is, the big brain plot for it. I hate you. I hate you, Todd Howard.
I know. It's just...
Respectfully, stop it.
I don't know. Have you rewatched those movies?
Indiana Jones, he kind of sucks.
They're not very interesting. They're kind of boring.
I mean, the style of them, I think, the aesthetics of those movies, enjoyable. And if do you enjoy Harrison Ford?
I don't care about him. I don't like Star Wars, so he means nothing to me.
Okay, basically. A lot of the enjoyment there, I feel, hinges on your ability to latch on him as the star,
I like him in the second one because he's just like a complete dickhead for no reason to everyone around him.
Because that was a prequel?
It's a prequel, so he's not developed, so he's just an asshole.
Yeah, Temple of Doom is a prequel. I didn't know that for a long time as a kid.
I like that one, out of the three.
Yeah.
I don't like how, virtuous and perfect he is, especially in the third one. Mm-hmm. Where basically, Jesus's messenger is oh, you can have Jesus's sippy cup. You're so perfect. I like it better when he's
just smart.
Smacking around the Chinese kid and telling the lady she's annoying. He's more real that way,
Yeah, totally. Real product of his environment, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, with the game, the gameplay reveal. Did you watch it?
Yeah, the first person, you can whip and shoot.
Yeah, so it's first person with snippets of third person traversal, I suppose. Kind of like the Chronicles of Riddick games from back in the day.
Yeah, I think that Machine Games actually used to be Starbreeze.
Starbreeze? I'd believe that. Yeah. Wow. Swedish people, so talented.
Oh, yeah. They make all kinds of wild and crazy things.
Yeah. My last bit on fucking Indiana Jones that really irked me in the trailer was the casting of Troy Baker.
Oh yes,
as
Indiana
Jones. Yeah, I have nothing nothing against Troy Baker. It's just a saturation thing.
Yeah,
But
I mean, it's like Johnny Young Bosch in the 2000s.
Yeah.
You don't hate him, but he's everywhere.
Everywhere.
He's
And
everything. I would say
it does get a bit tiring.
the only thing that could have been worse would have been if they casted Matt Mercer as Indiana Jones. I think that would have been the worst case scenario.
I agree. I agree.
Unbearable.
I was so pissed. Oh, that's funny. I just wish that I couldn't, like... I'm mad that I was able to immediately tell, like, this is Troy Baker.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, because he sounds like Troy Baker.
Looking at the casting, yeah.
I mean, I think that we're both at the point where we're so, like, oversaturated with our favorite things. We ate too much of our favorite thing, and now it makes us sick. Like, I can hear Steve Blum, and, you know, he's a pretty talented guy. He can make his voice sound really, really different. But now I can always tell it's him.
Yeah, no, I get you. I get you.
Like, immediately.
Mm-hmm. And then it kills when you're watching stuff where they voice multiple characters.
Yes. And you
talking to
realize
yourself in a scene.
how much of it is just him.
Yeah.
The nice thing, I guess, in older series, like, oh, this one voice actor, or whoever it is voicing these specific 5 characters is really, it's all the same guy.
Yeah.
Like,
He's
a
just
great
doing
teacher
wacky.
Onizuka has a big problem with that.
I believe that. Yeah, and with that, I think that's all the announcements from the showcases. We kind of we really breezed past them. There were loads of things.
What is there? What is there of interest? You want to talk about Foam Stars?
No, I'm not saying there's stuff of interest.
You want
I'm
to
just
talk
saying
about,
there's.
Well, I'm just saying, like,
stuff.
what is interesting? Like, when people go to gaming news, when people want gaming news, do you think they're sitting there rapidly interesting? Like, ooh. You're telling me they're releasing Skyrim again? What? I don't believe it.
Todd's at it again.
Yeah.
I'll do it again.
No one cares. People want to see the worst of it and the best of it. They don't care about the in-between, the mediocre.
The mediocre. That's cruel. But fair. I mean, I don't
They're multi-billion-dollar companies. I think they'll survive me saying that. So, to be clear, I'm talking about Sony and Microsoft, not the Horror Game Awards. All indie developers are perfect and special. As long as you're making something interesting, making something your own, you can do whatever you want. You could take my favorite shirt and wipe your dirty, stained, crusted asshole with it. And as long as it's something that appeals to me, I'll still play the game.
There you go. Excuse me. Yeah, last bit from the Horror Game Awards showcase was that game Cruel. It looked fun. Looked fast-paced.
Cruel?
Cruel. Yeah, one word. First-person shooter. I guess the kids would call it a boomer shooter these days. But it's pleasing,
yes, it's
pleasing aesthetic.
Those have really gotten a bit of a resurgence.
Oh, I'd say.
In a good way.
I'm all here for it. Yeah.
Yeah. I like people making something new with it instead of...
And he's got the chainsaw hand in it, too.
Doom wads.
Yeah. I know we've mentioned it before, but I think with games like this, because looking at the footage again, and then looking at some of the other trailers from the Horror Game Awards showcase, it's like, I appreciate that indie developers are embracing older aesthetics, like PS1 era, right?
Yeah, PS1's
but
I don't thing.
Right. I just don't appreciate when those games that they're, being made in this aesthetic, like, still don't look better than, like, a PS1 game. Like, if your game is ugly, in this aesthetic, like, that's not going to help it.
If it's ugly, put some fog on it like Silent Hill, stupid. Hide it.
Right? But
I mean, because the thing with the PS1 too is that they use the limitations to their advantage. Textures could be muddy and disgusting because the PS1 would be able to render it properly anyways. There's no point in giving it detail. The problem with modern systems is that everything will be rendered in painstakingly accurate. So you have to be really, really precise. You have to make your textures look exactly the way you want them to. Everything has to look intentional. Every single vertex will be very visible. There's no scan lines. There's no CRT to mix it up, muddle it.
Oh, totally. So yeah, it is what I'm appreciating about this new scene of indies. But moving on, last week we kind of brought it up at the beginning of the show. Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth and Tekken 8 released on the same day. Was that last week? That was last week.
It was, yeah. It was unfortunate. It was painful. I've been playing all of it more Tekken than Yakuza.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, it's not easy. It's not an easy choice to make.
It
is.
isn't.
Chapter 1 of Infinite Wealth.
Me too. You're farther than I am. I stopped. I mean, minor spoilers for like the first few hours of Infinite Wealth, I suppose. But I stopped after the proposal, right? And like, I think I'm at the morning after.
Oh, you're at. That's the very beginning of the game.
Adachi and Nanba. Yeah.
I
was dicking around, just doing random battles for a while, trying to upgrade the Hello Work job.
Your Hello Worker job.
Yeah, I was like, I like this.
Yeah.
I want to see where this goes.
Right, with your weird like pseudo Majima haircut.
Yeah, he's got his nice ponytail. He was giving big Majima vibes.
Yes,
Oh.
very very Zero-esque.
Yes. I really think they've. We kind of talked about this with Gaiden, right? But I feel like with this one especially, now they have such a good command of the Dragon engine.
Yes,
right.
The
Like,
cinematography.
it looks so good.
It really looks like exactly what they want it to look like.
Mm-hmm.
Every shot feels very intentional. It looks everything that's supposed to be staged the way it is. Every cutscene, like that opening cutscene in, I assume, Hawaii, where the politician is assassinated.
Yeah,
looked amazing.
That was great. That's like some David Fincher shit.
Yes, it was all the staging of it. It wasn't just like pure power and lighting trickery, ray tracing, whatever. It was trying to stage it like an actual film, and I think that is the best way to go. I think that is the most interesting way to make a game look, and I think that you don't need for a game to be cinematic to make the whole thing like a linear slog. I think that you can have these really exciting, interesting cutscenes and then have the game, and it's still interesting. I don't think that ludonarrative dissonance is such a deal breaker for people that they'll be like, "Hey, wait a minute, how come this scene had the red lighting like the movie, and then when I play as the guy, it doesn't?" Like,
it's slightly late.
People are capable of understanding that there's a difference in tone and what to expect in these scenarios, and they're still both very enjoyable. Yeah. But I feel like Yakuza in general is like the master, is the top dog when it comes to going all over the fucking place with his tone and still, feeling cohesive, feeling intentional.
Yeah, I think people would put Metal Gear up there too.
Yeah, and with the cinema, with the look of it, the movie emulation too.
Yeah. But yeah, even just navigating through the world, I was like, even though these are just pretty mundane kind of landscapes, it's a cityscape, it's whatever, but it just looks. There's something about it that just that's captured so nicely.
It's good, yeah.
In this one, yeah.
I mean, did you even realize that you can only access like a fourth of Yokohama?
Yeah, you can't go up. Yeah, you can't go super into it.
You can go straight to the Mahjong parlor, of course, but you are
limited.
Two of them. But the upgrades to the combat system, I mean, things that are so minor, like just being able to move around to position yourself and actually being able to like utilize the items around you or knock people into your party members is such a huge upgrade. Because in 7, it was basically like just a toss of the dice if your character would pick up an item in the fight or if your party members would follow it up. There was no real rhyme or reason to it.
Yeah.
So giving you definite conditions for these things, I think it's something that it seems like should have been there from the beginning, and it's just an outright upgrade. Like, it's just 100% better.
Total refinement of the systems. Yeah, I agree. I was trying to remember because it's been a long time since I played 7 as well. Like, I was like, you couldn't do this before, right? Yeah. So.
Yeah. Good luck. You probably won't be able to go back to 7 now.
Yeah. That's that's a thought I had while I was playing it. Yes, my fiance got immediately invested once Ichiban's interpersonal drama was the focus of the beginning. She's like,
Yeah.
oh, this is awesome.
I do like that.
Yeah.
They are sticking with it. He is not Kiryu at all.
No.
He
Yeah.
is nothing like Kiryu. He's nothing like really a previous Yakuza character. He's his own guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's not afraid to show emotion. Wants people to like him.
He's a
He likes to
modern
be liked.
man for the modern era. Yeah.
The modern era of 1990.
No, it post
Trapped in jail for 20
dissolution.
years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that though. I like his whole dilemmas that he was having.
Yes, I do like the contrast. Whereas Kiryu just became hardened
He
and
was so stoic,
miserable and stoic from his experience in the Clank. Ichiban kind of
Japanese prison system.
just kind of went through arrested development. He's still
Yeah.
he's still 18 years old.
He's
mentally.
emotionally immature. Yeah,
like
I love
when
that.
he's like, I've never been on a date.
I've never been on a date. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like it's hard to remember that. Oh, this guy's like 47.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Because he's very youthful, but not in an annoying way. He's never
Yeah,
annoying.
not in like a I'm trying to not be my age. What's my age again type of way.
He's
yeah.
very, very likable. It's not giving Madonna, if anyone's afraid of that. If anyone, to use some modern terminology and some modern references, it's not like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love the small detail of being able to just like greet people as well.
Yeah.
It's just
nice.
It adds to his character as well. It's just like
Yes,
he
it
is
makes
that kind of warm
perfect
guy.
sense.
Kiryu would not do that.
No, he would
going, oh,
he would snatch stuff with his spider web and then say,
Exactly.
ah,
Yeah.
so da ne.
Okay, I guess we're both in agreement here that just really enjoying it.
It's great.
You know.
The only reason I'm not playing it now is because Tekken 8 is also out.
Yeah, Tekken 8, moving right into it. Yeah.
Great game. I think that I will be just as obsessed with it as I was with Street Fighter 6 when it first came out. I feel
What
like
have
I've
you,
got.
What have you been doing? Have you been playing online? Have you been doing?
I did the entire
simple
arcade
stuff?
quest, actually, the
Okay.
single player thing, because it's basically just a giant tutorial.
Yeah. Is that where you make your
Yeah, you
avatar?
make like a My Sim me.
Yeah, yeah.
And then Virgil comes to your
Yeah.
tournament. He comes to your arcade, and he's like, "You guys are all bad at Tekken. Fight me at the Tekken World Tour if you want to prove you're good." And then you just every time you go to a new arcade, your friend's like, "Did you know you can jump?" Or like, "Did you know if you press R1, you'll do a heat action?" Like that kind of thing.
Do you feel like it would make for a good introduction to Tekken if you weren't familiar?
I think
with
so.
the systems?
I think it doles out like system mechanics very intentionally, like in a good way for someone who's like brand new to the series to get a handle on it. Because the main thing I see online when people complain is like, Tekken, what the heck? I looked at King's move list and there's 200 moves. I can't play this. I freaking didn't even. I failed algebra. You expect me to remember this? Like, it's not. You don't have to use all 200.
Yeah, it's not really what you do. Yeah.
Pick and choose, situational.
Uh-huh.
Also, I think like 50 of them are one grab. But anyways, yeah, but it does a good job of like slowly getting you through it. It starts off, lateral movement, then sidestepping, throws, throw breaks, that kind of thing.
Sure,
It's
yeah.
If you're a complete novice, I think it's a good starting point.
Cool. Nice. Yeah, I haven't touched any of the single player content. I haven't done the cinematic story mode. Or I think I may have done. I think I did an arcade run as Steve. I think that's what I did. Yeah.
I tried to do the character story for King, and it crashed instantly. So I haven't touched that again. I've been playing online a little bit today.
Okay.
I gotta say,
King, I assume.
Yeah, the RKO, the Jaguar Sprint alone, I think makes him better than he's ever been before. He's
a lethal fucking weapon.
Disgustingly good in this game.
Yeah.
Also, for some psychotic reason, I don't know if you know this, in Tekken 8, grabs command grabs in particular, I don't know if it's all grabs, but grabs take away all gray health, all recoverable health.
That's
So
nice.
as soon as you do any chip damage with King, you get one grab, it's all gone, right?
Yeah.
And he's also been given several untechable, unescapable grabs. So if he gets you with it, you just die.
Nice. Wow.
And one of them is just the RKO.
So you just come in and
You literally just run and
Drop
grab by
him.
the head and you slam it on the ground. It does stupid, insane damage. It's really hard. It's impossible to react to. You just can't get out of it. And if you're in heat, you get armor while you're doing it too. So very difficult to avoid. Very fun to use. It's always very satisfying to use. I think it's a great addition. And, it's just a fun time.
Very good. Very good. Do you have a second character in mind, or do you think
No.
you're just going to be staying on King?
Armor King, if he comes out, maybe.
Fair
It's
enough.
probably Armor King.
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta admit, the fact that the new mechanic's called Heat, wouldn't it make sense to have a Yakuza character in the game? It's literally called Heat.
You have
know?
your heat gauge.
Yeah.
You do a heat action.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I always see shit floating around the web. Like, this is why Kiryu wasn't in Tekken this time.
It doesn't have to be Kiryu at this point.
Yeah, no, totally. But I mean,
Could be anyone.
who would you put in from the
Saejima.
franchise? Saejima. Taiga?
Yeah, Taiga.
You want a heavy character? You like heavy characters. You
I
like
do.
that.
They're more
You
fun
do.
for me.
Yeah.
I want a grapple heavy character with insane heat actions.
That. Yeah.
Yeah. Just give him a tiger drop too.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Why not?
Sorry, I was looking at our questions coming in.
We have
But
questions.
It's not questions coming in. It's just Pep talking about fucking his shit.
Tell him to get the hell out of there.
Like, yeah, here. Fucking A. Saejima though. Yeah, I can already see the
who would you
costumes.
want? Haruka?
No. No, I'm surprised you didn't say Akiyama. I would
Well,
I
I
love
feel like Akiyama would play
kicks
exactly
would
the
be
same
great.
as Lee.
Like
Exactly the same.
oh.
Like
Lee
I
Chaolan,
feel like
yeah.
if I just went into custom mode right now and just change his clothes, I would just make Akiyama.
You can make Akiyama.
Yeah.
I will test this, yeah. Okay, yeah. Hold on. Yeah, I wouldn't want Yagami. You know what? It's fine. I would just take Kiryu or Majima, really. Probably Majima.
All right. I mean, they
I'm
still
more
have,
of a Majima.
Negan, I'm sure, his model rotting away, all that frame data, all those animations.
Exactly.
Just repurpose it.
Yeah. Right?
Actually, yeah, Ichiban's literally a combination of the two, baseball bat and brawler.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't think he'd be opposed to entering the King of Iron Fist
King
tournament.
of Iron Fist, yeah.
Be a
It's a new
sub-story.
video game for him to, contextualize his life as.
You imagine just running into an NPC with like a bald head and the fucked up triangle hair. And they're like, oh, you, stop, you look strong. You like to be a CEO? And Ichiban's like, been there, done that, Gramps.
Side story with Heihachi.
Yeah.
Now you get the Ichiban Zaibatsu.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you didn't get that far in 7. He already had it.
Oh, because he
That's
was
the
Mr.
business
CEO with
management game,
the rice
Ichiban
crackers.
Confections.
Yeah. I ran into his old, one of his workers.
Yeah,
Just
the old
in
lady.
Yokohama. Yeah. And the dog? Oh, no, it's the chicken.
The chicken.
The chicken. Yeah, what's the deal with the chicken?
They're a manager in 7.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, that's fun. Kind of reeling it back to Tekken. How do you feel, playing this, like, at its launch compared to how you were feeling when you're playing Street Fighter 6?
The same, which is a great
the
sign.
same. Good,
I feel
good.
like there's infinite potential, and the only thing that could kill my excitement is the same thing that's kind of really dampened it for 6 is a complete lack of anyone within a 20-mile radius who also plays it. or even
that's brutal.
any tournament scene whatsoever. I would just anything. Just throw me a damn bone, because playing online, it changes you. It turns you into a monster. You won't recognize yourself in the mirror if you play online.
You think the same thing is going to happen with Tekken?
Oh, it already did. I headbutted my fight stick and I broke 2 of the buttons off earlier.
Oh, God damn.
It's already happening.
Yeah, well, shit. Good to know. And you didn't end up playing any Mortal Kombat 1 last year, right?
Don't think I will. I think that, just like I thought, Street Fighter 6 and Tekken 8 are the perfect games to get into. Like, pinnacle of 2D, pinnacle of 3D. I don't need this Fortnite, whatever the fuck they're going for.
With Omni-Man and
sluggish, Saw cutscene bullshit. I don't care about that. I don't want it. Yeah. I have no interest in that.
It looks very nice, but it does not... I don't like how it plays. I do... Yeah, it's like a waste of the aesthetics. Just give me Shaolin monks, you know? Just make it a 3D action game.
Go ahead. Why not? I mean, if they're going to make them move that slowly, that adherence to realism, I don't think it's doing them any favors.
It's strange. And I mean, maybe I'm just bad, but I don't really feel like the...
No, the game is bad. It's always that the game is bad. We're never wrong. The game is always bad.
Yeah, you're right. I'm not going to get into the long and short of it with Mortal Kombat 1. I do think, though, if it has any strength, it's going to be that the story mode, like the interactive movie, the way those are shot is very, very big budget.
Oh, yeah. It's very funny on the Steam Deck to see the pre-rendered cutscenes, like, oh, this is how the game's supposed to look, and then it goes back to like totally untextured, like glassy-eyed mannequins when I'm playing. That's the nice thing about King, is that with the mask, he doesn't have a horrifying dead face.
Mm-hmm. It's just that.
Yeah, well, I dress him like Travis Touchdown, of course. So, that's how he's looking.
Awesome. Very good. All right. Yeah. Have you touched Tekken Ball at all?
No. I mean, I feel like that's something you do when you have guests over.
I tried it yesterday. I tried it on hard. I don't really remember the mechanics of Tekken Ball. I played against Panda.
It's volleyball, right?
I think I was full wrong. Yeah, and I got fucking destroyed by Panda. It was very funny, very quick.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll have its own meta. I'm sure it'll be like a side game at some big event. People.
I'm more of a Tekken Bowl kind of guy.
Was that 7?
I was in 7, and it was in Tekken Tag tournament, I believe.
A PS2
on the PS2.
Yeah.
Back in the day. Speaking of mini games, I meant to ask you: have you played any of the arcade games in Infinite Wealth?
Yeah, I played Spike Out.
Spike Out. I had never played Spike Out.
I'd never heard of it.
I'd heard of it.
It's like a kind of Virtua Fighter light beat 'em up.
Yeah,
the camera's terrible.
That. Terrible camera. But I love the arcade structure. I remember. So on the original Xbox, right? This was like the era of companies trying to reboot old arcade IPs, right? There was Spike Out Battle Street, I think is what it was called.
Yeah.
And X-Play had a review, and they were just like dogging on this game. But the one thing I remember from the review is just like, here comes the boss. It's like that fucking sound clip.
Mm-hmm.
So playing Spike Out and then hearing that was just like, oh my god.
Brought you back.
I finally get to experience this, and it's not even that bad.
Where it all started.
Yeah, where it all started. I mean, maybe the Xbox one is horrible, but...
I don't know. I think that
quite charming.
They had a real hatred for
for Japan.
Anything. Yeah. They're like, what's up with this game? This guy's got colored hair. What's his problem? Does he like kissing boys?
Yeah. Yeah, in retrospect, you know, it's like, I kind of wish there was other games media to consume as a child.
Outside of G4 and
Outside
Spike.
of G4 growing up, yeah. Yeah. But that's why we're here today.
Yeah,
doing what we do.
That's why we're here. This is G5, people.
Exactly, providing our perspectives.
Remember when G4 tried to come back and then it crashed and burned within a year? Like, very recently.
Oh, like last year, you mean?
Was it last year? 2 years ago?
It's like 2 years ago, yeah.
Yeah, I remember that their pitch was like, remember watching this when you were a kid? How'd you like to use your existing fame and renown as a content creator to work for us for pennies on the dollar? How'd you like to put some of that creativity and take it and put it in storage so you can work for us?
Pretty epic. Was it the corporation that alienated the people, or was it some of the attitudes of the hosts?
I think it was a combination of the corporation, the personalities they hired, and the fact that no one really gave a shit.
Yeah, that's fair. The ship has kind of sailed, I think.
Yeah, long gone.
It's very difficult to imagine. Or I guess not very difficult to imagine, but I certainly
yeah, I mean, not on basic
we're certainly
cable,
yet
but
to see.
Like
yeah.
Pluto TV, I'm sure, could manage a G4 channel.
Yes,
or
exactly.
Like Samsung TV Plus,
niche.
One of the like 2,000 like fake cable packages you can get now, where like 80 of the channels are just replaying Minecraft Let's Plays from 2010.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah. Well. Yeah. Thank God we're not X-Play. And Spike Out is not that bad. I want to play it. You can play it up to 4 people multiplayer from the top menu of the game. Yeah, like
you got
know how you can access like it does locally only.
Out of luck.
Unfortunate, but I am curious to try that with multiple people because I feel like that could be a lot of fun.
I think so. I will say also, Infinite Wealth looks very good on the Steam Deck.
Is it verified or is it?
Yeah, it's verified.
Okay.
But I mean,
nice.
Gaiden looked pretty good too. But Infinite Wealth looks amazing. So I can only imagine what it looks like on the PS5.
It looks so nice, dude. Really, really nice. Yeah, thankful for that. Man, excited to play more, but man, the games keep coming.
I know.
I don't think there's anything big in February coming out. I guess we'll see.
Persona, like you said, but I'm otherwise occupied.
Exactly. Right? The the horrible bad decision part of my brain is like that Jujutsu Kaisen game. You love anime.
Yeah. That game that looks like shit. That
by
game
the
that looks like...
Yeah, by the developer of the other anime game that isn't very good.
By the developers who saw, by the developers who once played Clash of Ninja. It looks... Everything about it looks so mediocre. Like that's like the poster child mediocre game. That's what I'm afraid the Hunter x Hunter game's going to be like. Like worst case scenario.
I think there are worse anime games. I think the Kill la Kill game was pretty low bar.
I didn't play it,
but
I also never heard anything about it.
I think just from like a cursory budget glance, at least this feels like they're trying to, not super trying.
I'd say not trying at all. I would go so far as to call it a cash grab.
yeah. It's interesting to see these, like the first entry in what could eventually become, like
a Clash of Ninja.
Yeah, could you imagine that happening? Right, like the My Hero game has had 2 entries.
Yeah,
nothing crazy, right? And I don't even know how long that series is going to go for, but I suppose if it's like
personally,
Naruto.
I don't think there's ever been a situation where I see a 3D anime fighter and I think, wow, this is so much better than a traditional 2D fighting game. Mm-hmm. This looks so much more fun than like a Heritage for the Future style fighting game. I'm so glad they made this instead of that.
I like 3D. You do much prefer the 2D.
Yeah, well, I mean... You played Eyes of Heaven, right? How'd you feel about that compared to All-Star Battle Classic or R or whatever?
All-Star Battle R? It's kind of crazy. I liked Eyes of Heaven. It had a surprising amount of depth, like it felt clunky at first, but then if you like actually took time and timed things correctly, you could do.
If you look directly into the black and white swirling shape, look directly into the hypnotist pendulum, it becomes good.
But it also, those games just hinge on like how affected you are personally by like fan service.
How much do you like it? I mean, I remember the original All-Star Battle being probably the best fan service game of all time. So just the sheer amount of like interactions and like recreations
is very much like that.
Well, Eyes of Heaven, the whole thing is like, what if this guy met up with this guy, right?
And in the story mode, but even just like battle to battle, there's so much that could happen.
What if that was like when I was
yeah, they have a fucking dual heat attack. Like that was I was also playing that at like the height of my JoJo like
obsession,
and it was hitting me the hardest. I was like, oh man, I gotta consume and play all the JoJo media I could get.
No, I mean I get it. I have literally every art book now.
But
they're not cheap.
Yeah, I will say 3D anime fighters. Yeah, they're never particularly good. Although the new Tenkaichi had a trailer this past week.
They're all right. I liked them when I was a child. When I was a little drooling stupid child who had no idea what was better. But I'm sure they can make something fun. I'm sure they can make something good.
Massive roster, looks like. And then Dragon Ball is just the premier like anime, so it gets so much money thrown at it.
It has the only like competent anime fighting game, Dragon Ball Fighters
Z,
still being played. I remember it being all right. I remember liking it well enough.
The aesthetics are great. Captures it very well.
Very polished, looks good.
Yeah.
It's if you're a fan of Dragon Ball, it's fun. If you're a fan of fighting games, it's fun. It's the kind of treatment I hope the Hunter x Hunter game gets if it is a 3-on-3 fighter.
Is there a Hunter x Hunter game in the works, or is this just a hypothetical?
No, they released a trailer.
Oh shit!
Yeah, it's like two teams. It's like Gon, Leorio, and fucking Netero versus Killua, Kurapika, and Tonpa or some shit.
Okay.
But yeah, it's being developed by A-Ting. Do you know who they are?
No. Educate me.
Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I know that, yeah.
And Tatsunoko vs. Capcom.
Very cool. Always wanted to play that one.
So they're very competent. They're very good
at
it.
Right on. Nice. Well, do you want to talk any more about Tekken 8 or Like a Dragon?
No.
Any closing
I like them
thoughts
both.
on it?
I love them both.
Yeah, very
That's the
very
problem.
strong.
When you love something, what more can you say?
That's a very strong way to start the year.
When you hate something, it never ends.
Yeah, right.
The vitriol that spews.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, truly. Maybe it's a sign that this is going to be another year of Japanese domination in the game space.
I certainly hope so. There's nothing I love more than Japanese domination.
It's like a Yakuza sub-story.
It is. Dive me up.
Do we want to get to Q&A, or do you want to talk about anything that you've been playing?
Let's just go through what we've been playing real quick.
Yeah. You want to take it first?
I've actually been playing a lot of shit.
Okay, yeah. Begin, please.
Yeah, I barely got to play Eunice 2. Fun. I'm sure it's fun to play with people, but the PC port, the netcode is completely fucked. If you try to play online, you can't connect or play at all. And since I've already spent over 2 hours in the training mode doing Akatsuki's combos, I cannot return it. So I'm just going to have to wait until the game is playable to really get a good idea of what it's like. But
damn.
I liked the other one, so here's hoping it's like that.
Yeah.
I played Wasteland 2, all of Wasteland 2. Made me realize that maybe I do like Western RPGs, but the writing compared to Disco Elysium is I think I've just been spoiled completely by Disco Elysium, so that when a game's like, oh, in a world where you can interact, your character can act in such a way, there's so many choices, moral dilemmas, and interactions. It just feels very lacking compared to what I can do in that game. Even the most like basic interaction. Yeah. And I understand that's because it has literally no combat, it's all dialogue. But I think that is something you should aim for in a role-playing game, regardless of how much combat there is. You should aim for that level of interactivity, for every character to be that interesting. Yeah. And Wasteland 2, I beat it. I put like 50 hours into it. I didn't hate it.
Played it, yeah.
It wasn't amazing. It wasn't the greatest game of all time, but I enjoyed doing it. I guess it's kind of like how people were really obsessed with Cookie Clicker way back when. It's kind of like that for me.
You could just
turn it on and play it for a good 8 hours mindlessly. Wasteland 3, I've dropped. It looks better, but they've tried to turn it into XCOM combat-wise, and the writing and is a significant downgrade. It's the Saints Row 2 to 3 shift, where everyone's just constantly swearing unnecessarily, like in an embarrassing way, like,
in a cartoonish
way. Like you remember the Cowboy Bebop live action show? How they tried to show you how it's not the same as the anime, it's for adults and it's mature, by having Faye say, "Welcome to the ouch, motherfuckers." It's like that. It's like, why did you make this character say that? Why can't they can speak normally? I'll still think your game is mature if they don't say fuck every 3 words. It's fine. You don't have to do it. I mean, I'm not laughing. So maybe take a different approach. You know what I mean? It's just it's lacking whatever it was in the original game that made it intriguing. It also doesn't help that they've completely left the wasteland. They are now set entirely in Colorado, in the Arctic peaks of Colorado,
the winter wonderland.
Yeah.
The only thing that appealed to me about Wasteland 3 was that you could play it in co-op.
You can.
Knowing that it's a more like combat kind of oriented experience is a turn off.
Yes, it's
like I want these to be RPGs, not XCOM, like you said.
And the role playing you can do is just not that intriguing. And the dilemmas are like, do you want to be Hitler's minion, or do you want to kill him?
The patriarch,
Okay. Yeah, I guess I'd rather kill Hitler. And then everyone's like, whoa, took a lot of balls to make that choice.
Yeah, Jesus. Ranger,
Took a lot of gumption to make that difficult choice. The Messiah, the new Messiah. Which, I guess that's another thing I don't really like, is when games are like, you are great, you're the greatest in the world, you're so talented and good at everything.
Yeah.
It should be a little bit of a fuck up.
Yeah, or at least a smaller player in the grand scheme of things makes it for a more compelling experience. So. Yeah. No, I agree.
And what else? Oh, I played the demo for this game, Mullet Mad Jack. You're talking about boomer shooters?
Yeah. Mullet Mad Jack. I've seen
it's
promotional stuff. Yeah.
It's like style like a 90s OVA.
Yeah.
It's a really good job of capturing that. And it's fun. The controls are a little clunky, but I think that that's just something they have to figure out as they go along, because this is just, I think, the first open beta. But it's fun. The idea is really good. I like it. I like playing it. I like killing in it. The killing is fun. The murdering. I like playing as an insane, cool-looking, like Travis-esque sociopath. That always will appeal to me, playing as a crazy person.
That's like, exactly. Pushing all the right buttons for you.
Who's like just basically just like a loser American obsessed with Japan.
Perfect.
I'll always like that.
Yeah.
So check it out.
Yeah.
And of course, I've been playing Y2K. No comment.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Lots of games.
Yeah. What have you been up to?
Really? Like mostly the Last of Us 2 remaster. I've just been playing that roguelike mode. When I'm not playing Tekken or Like a Dragon. And then before that, I was just Just playing like random shit in my library. A lot of Red
Like
Dead.
anything that stuck out like at all?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, like anything recently that stuck out?
Yeah. Anything that you were like, I have any opinion about this,
Um,
negative or positive, or is it just like need to occupy myself with? I haven't played this yet. I guess I'll give this a good hour. I felt nothing the entire time. Next thing.
Yeah. No, there's plenty of that before, but with The Last of Us remaster, it's good to be experiencing it again. You know, I do want to get through the story again.
See if they have a joke ending.
No, I don't.
He's like, you know what? I think I will kill Abby.
Oh my god.
You know what? The fans were right.
I don't want to get. I don't want to
Joel
get
comes from the dead, and he's like,
"Good
good job, Ellie. You figured it out."
Discourse about The Last of Us. You know, all I gotta say is that like Ellie is a fucking addict. You know, and if you don't realize like that cat. You know, if you can't see that, you know, if you can't see that, like it's a story about how
addicted to what? Rage? Addicted to revenge?
Yeah, you know, it's like crack.
But it's cool. Guts does it, and he's cool.
Is her crack? You know, like a sense of purpose is crack for Ellie. Right?
Yes,
especially like after being denied it so harshly at the end of the first game.
Right, being denied her warrior's death.
Yeah, and I have no problem with what happens to Joel. You know, people, I can't, like, the Batman thing. It's the same thing with Joel. Like,
I really think if Batman, no matter how he died, the fact that he gets killed, people will hate it.
Yeah, and it
doesn't matter. I think people would rather have Kevin Conroy have his brain extracted and like unfurled, turned into AI, than have Batman be gone.
Yeah, it's super lame, frankly, when people do that. And I hate to see it. I hate to see it. But fun game, you know. We were having a discussion about like cinematic aspirations from Western developers versus Eastern developers, and we were kind of using The Last of Us and Metal Gear as examples. And I was saying how Metal Gear takes, you know, really good advantage of the interactive medium as a game. I think it does it a lot more explicitly than The Last of Us does. I think the impressive things about The Last of Us are all like, it's the small nuance, it's the detail of the animation. It's like the way someone dies when you blow their arm off with a rifle.
They cry. They don't like it.
Yeah.
It's The Last of Us, I think their whole aim is to make you forget you're playing a game. You, the player, should feel like you're watching a cinematic masterpiece. Whereas, Metal Gear Solid is fully aware that it's a game and uses everything, every trick that it can glean from you having the control to make the experience more interesting, especially in Metal Gear Solid 2.
Yeah. Yeah. I've been wanting to revisit 2 with...
It's good. I played it.
With Raiden and Fortnite, I was like, oh goddamn, I want to be on the fucking plant right now.
Believe it or not, he was actually a totally fine protagonist. I would even say a good one.
Yeah, no, I was never part of the Raiden hate train.
I think there was all just people who were like, "What the hell? This guy doesn't even smoke cigarettes. What is he, gay?" Like the same thing with the X-Play complaints, like just
a pretty boy. Yeah, I hate that shit, dude. Like
just the most asinine complaints you can have.
Yeah, nothing
at all related to the actual gameplay. Or even the personalities, the characters of the characters, just his design.
Yeah, right? Super, reductive. Yeah. But Metal Gear, Last of Us, great games. Both, you know, surprisingly anti-violence while being very into violence.
Yes, hyper-violent games, but at the end they say, "Don't kill!
Don't do that, yeah.
Don't build that nuke. I did it, but you don't. You don't do that."
Funny. Like, it has such a morbid fascination with violence. But it's exploring it in unique ways.
Yeah, it's like watching horror movies, like watching Saw. You know, it's just a morbid fascination. It's just an exploration of the darkest depths of the human mind.
I can't with those movies.
They're dog shit.
You aborted my wife with a door handle.
Yeah. You gave me the hot foot when we were in elementary school.
What? Why are you holding this grudge, dude?
Cut your left nut off.
Yeah, show me you're ready.
Okay, I did it. Got you, stupid ass.
Yeah.
Now you're gonna bleed out. Every saw trap is literally like, oh, you thought? Like, it's always like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm not actually gonna let you out of here. I'm not actually gonna help you.
I know. And some say that's his whole shtick. All right, shall we move on to Q&A and close things out for tonight?
Yeah, let's go on. There's nothing else of interest that I can recall.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, more of the same. All right.
Same as it ever was.
Yeah. As always, we got a question coming in from DDD Pizza Ron.
Oh,
He says, what is y'all's favorite Fortnite cosmetic that dropped in January?
Next question.
Are you serious? You don't want to answer this one?
Is it Solid Snake or is it Peter Griffin?
I don't know. What is it for you?
Were they both in January?
I think with this battle pass. I don't know if that was January specifically when it released. I think it is, but
Peter looks bad to me.
Peter looks horrible.
I hate how he's got the fucked up like Fortnite body with his head. He looks disgusting, and
weird,
I hate it.
Really horrible neck. Yeah.
So I guess Solid Snake. If Peter was normal, if he was a big fat idiot, that'd be good. I would like that. I would even purchase that.
Yeah, they have the chicken now. The evil chicken.
I don't want to play as the chicken. I want to play as Peter.
Oh, okay, fair enough. The iconic chicken.
The
fight
Family
scene.
Guy.
Yeah. Yeah. Snake or Raiden, probably. I'm a Metal Gear Solid 2 fan. When I play Metal Gear Solid 3 and it asks me, I tell it I like Metal Gear Solid 2, so I start in that Rykov mask.
Oh yeah, and then it
drops in.
Oh, what are you wearing?
It's like, just kidding. Yeah.
Sorry.
And follow up again from our Donald. Have you all seen Has Been Hotel?
No. Next question.
I've only seen clips, right, of Keith David, and I like hearing him speak.
I mean,
what's the premise? What's the premise of Has Been Hotel?
You saying Keith David reminds me of like something that really made me not regret not watching Rick and Morty anymore. Remember how the Keith David was the president in that show, right?
Okay.
And then I guess he becomes a recurring character, and his whole thing is that he's suddenly like jealous of Rick or wants to hang out with him all the time or something. Like they totally changed. Anyways, it's like, his voice sounds good, but you're overusing him a bit, and it's like you don't really know what to do with him.
Yeah.
And I feel like Has Been Hotel would be the same, because everything I've seen from that has been like not funny. And from what I understand, it's supposed to be a comedy series.
An adult comedy.
Yes, an adult.
Yeah, I think they say fuck.
That's the thing. It's like adult comedy, I think, is maybe my least favorite brand of animation is Western adult comedy. Because with the exception of shows on Adult Swim, I'd say exclusively, and even then it's pretty sparing, I'd say. It's only when they actually let the animators have a unique art style instead of... Before it was replicating Family Guy, now it's replicating Rick and Morty, which I think is somehow even worse looking. It's just the worst shit ever. It's just. That's
why the indie scene's where it's at, Meat Canyon, all that shit. Sick animation. Give me some of that.
Yeah, sure. Sick animation in particular, that'd be great. But, Has Been Hotel, unique design. Okay, sure. It's, very, very sparkle, dog, furry.
That's why Donald likes it, huh?
Vomits, color.
I see now, yeah.
Which I'm not really into. I don't really care for the designs. and
they're all
what
like
I've seen-
demons.
They're all demons. Yeah.
Okay.
That's the rationale.
All right.
It doesn't
Fun.
make me laugh. I would say it makes me groan mostly. So I don't. No, I don't want to watch it. I'm not interested in it.
Hey, yeah.
But I am looking forward to Smiling Friends season 2.
There you go. There you go.
What
And
about you?
That's our thoughts on Hazbin Hotel. I mean, the last thing on TV that I've been watching is True Detective.
Oh, I thought you were going to say that would be the last thing on TV I would be watching.
No, I don't watch a lot of adult animated cartoons. That sounds like porn, but I don't watch a lot of that weird.
I don't. Well, yeah, Western cartoons,
Right.
I guess.
Like BoJack Horseman is a recurring show that's always cycled in my life, which is
Yes.
fine. You know?
Decently written, looks ugly.
It's I can listen to it a lot easier than watch it. Just as background noise, and it has some genuinely funny bits. But I mean that and South Park really, or like my big recent ones. But I haven't watched the season of Rick and Morty in many moons. It feels.
I don't feel like I'm missing out. I don't think you're missing out.
Mm-hmm.
Who cares?
Yeah, there you go. And our our final question for the night from Lenlen, producer Chris himself. He wants to know who definitively won the Tekken 8 1v1s, Sam or Nick? We have two witnesses, so if either of us lie, we have people who could dispute the record.
Who can remember?
I can't remember. I will be honest and say I can't remember. But I will say, respectfully, like, I think Nick, you take it more seriously than I do, and I think you were definitely honing in at the end.
Yeah, maybe.
That first night, though, I think I was doing pretty well.
Well, that was a long time ago now, wasn't it?
That
was a lifetime ago.
Exactly.
But yeah, I guess the first night you were.
And
I was switching between the stick and the pad and the leverless, one after the other.
Yeah, it's true.
No breaks.
You got to really test drive the whole lot while you were.
Yes, I went to the Ferrari factory and I got my pick of the litter. I had the everlasting fight stopper, and I drank the fizzy lifting.
Yeah, you met Willy Wonka himself.
It's true. Yeah. I fell into the chocolate river.
Maybe
drowned.
he's more of an Oompa Loompa in the grand scheme of things.
creating the masterworks.
Yeah. Oh man. Well, I suppose that's really it for questions and our answers for this week. No bets, but Nick and I have been discussing perhaps a new system of responding to bets.
When we hit 3 times the viewers we get now on YouTube, then we'll
there you go.
Get into it. Because I'm realizing now that all the things I want to do would cause me so much effort or agony or both.
It's good though. It's good to want to do high effort shit.
I would really rather someone saw it. I would really rather 1 or 2 people saw it.
Yeah.
If I'm going to go to that extent.
Yeah. I respect it and I understand it. But more in the pipeline soon. Anyway, this has been Video Ditch for this week. As always, I am Sam. You can find me at the Super SammyCom on Twitter/X. Although, it feels bad to promote Elon's platform. You can find Nick there as well. Somebody stop me. Yes. You can find us Video Ditch Pod on there.
The show Twitter.
Yeah. And
we're also on Blue Sky. Thriving, lively Blue Sky.
Oh yeah, the next big thing.
Oh yeah.
So, until next time, thank you for tuning in. Catch you later.
Yes, game on.
Game on.